All right, this is my daily review. Looking at a daily chart of the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq today stayed above its 200 simple moving average and closed just slightly above it. You can see it's starting to flatten out there. Yeah, it closed 0.8% above the 200. And after this rally from January up to the beginning, I think February 2nd of 2023, we had a high of 12,269, and we've had a slight pullback here. And this, to me, like this is just a normal pullback. I know a lot of people have PTSD from 2022, but this thing was up 14 something percent from January to February 2nd here. So a little bit of a pullback is kind of normal. It's still above the moving averages here. At some point, you could see the 50 starting to curl higher. I would expect the 50 to drive through the and trade above the 200 simple moving average. If we're going to have a healthy market, it's easy to be negative with all the negative headlines and negative news of recession, the inverted yield curve, blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to stay positive. I'm going to stay hopeful that, the NASDAQ had been down 37% peak to trough. And it's been down since November of 2021. So it's been a long time. And so I think at some point, bear markets are not going to last forever, just like bull markets do not last forever. And I'm going to stay positive. I think this has a possibility. It's still in an uptrend here. We're still in a power trend. So, you got to be cautious. You got to practice risk management. And by the way, my disclaimer is I do this for my own amusement. These are not recommendations. But anyway, that's the NASDAQ. I do want to show you the IWM because most of the stocks that I hold are traded in the Russell. And you can see this is what I'm talking about, the 50 trading above the 200 here is the 50 curls up and the 200 kind of flattens out. And to me, the Russell, made a high near 199.26 and pulled back. But this is a normal pullback after a big move like that. This is nothing destructive. The S&P, I wanted to show that as well. Pretty similar looking, but you can see the 50 is above the 200. The 10 and the 21 started to curl down here a little bit as it was down slightly today. I don't really pay much attention to the S&P. I know a lot of people trade it, and good for you, but they're bigger cap stocks, and I think if you want to have real 10 baggers, you got to buy the smaller ones. Anyway, speaking of big cap stocks, Tesla's really having trouble with this 200 number. Not only the 200 simple moving average, but the just a $200 the ghost of the Livermore ghost here at 200. Eventually, I believe it'll power through it. I know a lot of people are negative and it's going back to $50, but we'll see about that. They have an investor day next week, and you can't count Elon Musk out. It's like counting Steve Jobs out. He's a brilliant guy. You might not like him, but he's very innovative, and I just would not bet against him. Nvidia is another one. That this one's different because it's above. You can see the power trend here: 10, 21, 50 stacked above the 200. This is much healthier than Tesla, and it's above 200, right? Above 200 SMA and above the $200 mark. Yeah, they reported earnings tonight up 8%, strong data center growth. It looks good. Jensen Huang, I believe, is speaking as I speak right now. I will be listening to that conference call before I go to bed tonight. Anyway, I just wanted to take a look around some of the other, sectors. This is oil and gas sector. This one's doing nothing wrong, TRMD. You could see the, the base here and just, pulled back a little bit today, down 2% down to its 10 EMA. This looks fine. It's nothing like this driller here, Valaris. I don't know what got into this one, but sliced its 50 yesterday with volume and followed through with heavy volume again today. And that is something nasty. I mean, this thing's been plugging away for months and months and years, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, what happened here? So anyway, that's the stock market. When you're trading individual stocks, you think that thing was strong and boom. That's adios muchachos for me. This is Weatherford. This is equipment stock, oil and gas equipment, just traded down to its 21 today. It's been showing strength, but I'm leery of the oil and gas stocks. They've had a long, long run, and I think there's other areas to play that you can do better with. Speaking of which, Wingstop, they reported tonight. Obviously, we know restaurants and bars had a On the retail sales data last week, restaurant and bars just killed it. And somebody's getting this market share. Wingstop, obviously, doing well. It made a new high today and then traded, down and closed near the low of the day here, which is a little disappointing. Yeah, closing range 14% of this daily bar here. So that's not great, but still, I've seen a lot of strange action around earnings reports recently. Here's CROX. I mean, they hit the ball out of the park. They traded down to the 50, which was what, about 110? Yeah, then ran up to like 143 after earnings. And yesterday was down 12 something bucks. So this is getting kind of wild and crazy and loose. And CROX, you can see, does not trade that way. A little out of character here, but we'll see if this thing can settle down around that 120, 130 area. They definitely had strong earnings, and I'm going to keep my eye on that one. Another one, no, I'm not going to go to ELF today. We're going to go to ULTA. ULTA Beauty, and this thing is a beauty, and it just pulled back to its 10 EMA on Tuesday and then found support today, and that's what you want to see out of your trending stocks if you're a trend trader. Palo Alto Networks, I'm going to go to tech now, a little bit of technology. I haven't covered this much. This is the cybersecurity stock. Obviously had strong earnings, just a leader in its group and has been for a long time. It advanced 12.5% with 413% above average daily volume, just a monster move. Going to keep an eye on that PEG for us. And CrowdStrike, this is a sympathy play, but you can see how much further this one is way below its 200. Yeah, 22% below its 200. So Crowd is definitely a laggard. Palo Alto Networks is a leader. So that's, when you're rating your stocks, you can easily see the difference between those two if you wanted to own a cybersecurity stock. I'm going to lump the semiconductor stocks in with the tech today. I mentioned NVIDIA earlier. I'm sure that's going to boost this sector tomorrow. This thing is not giving you a chance to get in. It made a base on base pattern. It broke out, then pulled back. It gave you a chance, but it's in 2023. There's no chance. You can't be chasing this up here. I mean, there's no, it's not actionable. Not for me anyway. A strong stock though, and it's definitely one to watch. AEHR, they had a secondary offering. It kind of stalled the momentum of this stock, and it traded below its 21 today. I do not like that action here, but it was on lighter volume. It's been a real winner. It's trending in the right direction. It's just looks like it might go sideways here for a little bit. I'm not interested in going sideways. Wix, this one reported earnings, I believe. Yeah, it was up 12 something percent on 566% above average daily volume. I'm going to keep my eye on this one as well, see if it can get above, this is a nice little base here, get above that 97 area. Wix looks good to me. I'm a little concerned about some of these stocks making highs today, like Hershey's. Hello. When defense stocks like these are making new highs, they pull back towards the close, but I do not like that. Clean Harbors as well. This one has this, base on base pattern. It looks like it's kind of just wedging higher. And today it had higher volume, but this made an all-time high today too. You can look at the weekly here, and it's just base on base on base on base. And it's kind of been doing that for a long, long time. But maybe one day it'll break out. This is kind of defensive in nature, like waste management. And you can see waste management below the 200. So Clean Harbor definitely cleaning waste management's clock in that pollution control area. Anyway, I'm going to stop right there. I didn't do any biotech today, so whoopee, how about that? You know what? I'm going to do one because I mentioned it. How about TGTX? This one has been on a roll since breaking out. It got their multiple sclerosis drug approved at the end of December. You can see that spike here. Ran up, got support along the 10, then traded down to the 21 on Tuesday. Had a 3-day pullback with the markets, and then had a little 4% gain today in lighter volume. But definitely one to watch. They have they'll have news coming out next week. They have data to present. But anyway, so I broke my rule and didn't do a biotech, and then I did. So how about that? Anyway, this is for my entertainment purposes only, and we never give up.